This video will discuss the service procedure for completing Service Campaign T9E using the information in the latest version of the Technical Service Bulletin found on HMA's Technical Information page at HyundaiDealer.com. Certain Kona and Ioniq electric vehicles with Electric Vehicle Battery System Coolant BSC-2 may experience flow restriction from debris, causing abnormally high electric water pump speeds. Vehicle symptoms may include the coolant supplement or refill inverter coolant warning light to be on, even with a normal inverter coolant reservoir tank level. This video demonstrates the Technical Service Bulletin procedure on Kona vehicles for flushing and cleaning debris from the cooling system circuits and replacing the coolant with Battery System Coolant 2 low conductivity coolant. The flushing and cleaning procedure for Ioniq vehicles is similar. Refer to page 17 of the TSB for detailed instructions. Access the vehicle information screen via Web DCS and go to the Campaign Not Performed section to identify open campaigns. Campaign T9E applies to the following vehicles: certain 2019 through 2022 model year Kona electric vehicles produced from May 7, 2019 through October 12, 2021, and certain 2020 through 2021 model year Ioniq electric vehicles produced from November 1, 2019 through May 17, 2021. Review the Technical Service Bulletin for part information, warranty information, and claim submission information. Open the hood and verify the coolant in the reservoir is blue. If the coolant is pink or green, this campaign procedure does not apply. Connect the GDS and select Data Analysis. Select the Battery Management Tool, or BMS, icon and select OK. Scroll down to the Battery BTMS valve control mode sensor and verify the value is set to Combined Mode. If the value is Separated Mode, turn the vehicle off and then back on. Select the Battery BTMS valve control mode sensor again and confirm it has changed mode to Combined. Remove the Underhood Service Interlock connector. Remove the coolant reservoir tank cap and drain the reservoir using a siphon or fluid transfer pump. Make sure to empty both the upper and lower chambers of the reservoir using the hole between the chambers. Make sure the reservoir tank degassing hose valve is closed. If there is no valve, use a pair of hose pinching pliers to block the coolant flow. Review the coolant flushing equipment operating instructions on page 3 of the TSB. Before using the coolant flushing equipment, confirm that there is at least half a tank full of fluid before turning on the pump. Water can be added if needed. This allows the pump to be primed and operate correctly. Disconnect the inlet and outlet hoses from the coolant reservoir tank. Reconnect the bottom outlet hose to the coolant flushing equipment red outlet hose. Reconnect the top inlet hose to the coolant flushing equipment blue inlet hose. To discharge and drain the coolant, perform an air drain for 2 minutes using the cooling flushing equipment. Turn the pump off, turn the air supply switch on, and close the inlet valve. After the 2 minutes of air drain, turn the pump on, leave the air supply switch on, and open the inlet valve. This will flush and clean the coolant through the filter. Perform this step for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, turn the pump off, leave the air supply switch on, and close the inlet to perform an air drain. Wait 2 minutes before continuing the procedure. Disconnect the reservoir inlet and outlet hoses from the cooling flushing equipment hoses. Remove the reservoir tank mounting bolts. Disconnect the degassing hose. Remove the reservoir tank and set it aside for cleaning later. Lift the vehicle and remove the undercover. Disconnect the inlet hose from the electric water pump and connect it to the coolant flushing equipment blue inlet hose. Disconnect the bottom radiator hose and connect the coolant flushing equipment red outlet hose to the radiator outlet nipple. Perform a coolant flush and filter clean for 5 minutes by turning the pump on, turning the air supply switch on, and opening the inlet valve. After 5 minutes, perform an air drain for 2 minutes. Turn the pump off, leave the air supply switch on, and close the inlet valve. While the coolant flushing equipment is operating, clean the inside of the reservoir tank with water and blow shop air through the tank. Swap the cooling flushing equipment hoses on the electric water pump inlet hose and the radiator outlet nipple. Perform a coolant flush and filter clean for 5 minutes by turning the pump on, turning the air supply switch on, and opening the inlet valve. After 5 minutes, perform an air drain for 2 minutes. Turn the pump off, leave the air supply switch on, and close the inlet valve. Swap the coolant flushing equipment hoses again and perform an air drain for 2 minutes. Disconnect the cooling flushing equipment hoses and reconnect the electric water pump inlet hose and the bottom radiator hose. Remove the high voltage undercover. Disconnect the hose from the high voltage battery inlet and connect the coolant flushing equipment red outlet hose to the battery inlet nipple. If the vehicle production date is before April 8, 2020, connect the coolant flushing equipment blue inlet hose to the valve-type battery chiller outlet hose. If the vehicle production date is April 8, 2020 or later, connect the coolant flushing equipment blue inlet hose to the T-branch battery chiller outlet hose. Perform a coolant flush and filter clean for 5 minutes by turning the pump on, turning the air supply switch on, and opening the inlet valve. After 5 minutes, perform an air drain for 2 minutes. Turn the pump off, leave the air supply switch on, and close the inlet valve. Disconnect the cooling flushing equipment hoses and reconnect the hoses to the battery chiller outlet and the battery inlet. Reinstall the undercovers. Reconnect the service interlock connector. Reinstall the coolant reservoir tank and mounting bolts. Reconnect the outlet hose, inlet hose, and degassing hose. Remove the hose pinching pliers if used, or open the reservoir tank degassing valve. Fill the cooling system with battery system coolant 2 low conductivity coolant. Use STUI to perform a coolant air bleeding procedure for 30 minutes. This will circulate coolant through the system using the electric water pump. After the bleeding procedure is complete, ensure the coolant reservoir tank is filled to the proper level. Close the reservoir tank degassing hose valve or remove the hose pinching pliers. Use STUI to take a photo showing the coolant reservoir tank filled after the flushing and cleaning procedure. Include a piece of paper within the photo showing the last 6 digits of the VIN and date of the repair. Make sure the photo is in focus, and then upload the photo to STUI. Start the engine and verify coolant supplement or inverter coolant warning is not displayed. After each cleaning job, it is necessary to clean the filter to ensure the tool performance for flushing and cleaning. Remove the filter from the coolant flushing equipment and use shop air to remove any debris from the filter or filter housing. Blow air from the inside of the filter outwards while rotating the filter. Reinstall the filter and hand tighten the clear filter housing. Do not over-tighten the housing to prevent it from cracking. This completes the service procedure for Campaign T9E.